Is it time to panic in Miami? Because the Dolphins had the worst showing in Week 1's action. With an ugly 33-8 blowout loss against Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts, alarm bells should be ringing that the vibes are bad in South Beach. 2 years ago, the team essentially ostracized Vic Fangio for coaching too hard, as they didn't seem to get along with one another, and it led to Vic's exit at the end of the 2023 season. Fast forward to 2025, Fangio leads the Eagles defense to completely shut down Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and the Dolphins open up getting carved up by Daniel Jones for 33 points. Like, are you kidding me here? This secondary might be in for a very long season because Daniel Jones should be the least of their worries in terms of opposing quarterbacks on their schedule this year. Defense was a huge factor as to why the Dolphins were outgained by over 200 yards on Sunday. Tua Tagovailoa was downright putrid, throwing 2 picks and losing a fumble. He looked particularly lost against Lou Adaromo's defense, rushing throws and putting the ball in harm's way all afternoon. Xavier Howard was a longtime Dolphin and former teammate of Tua in Miami. He definitely gave his DC the inside scoop on Tua's cadences and weaknesses in his game, saying that when you take away Tua's first read, he begins to panic. When asked about his turnovers post-game, about when he turns the ball over, it comes in bunches, Tua got very defensive and followed that up with additional remarks throughout the week, going back and forth with Miami sports media in press conferences leading up to their Week 2 matchup. And I understand that the media can be kind of harsh with Tua at times, but I really do think he's losing sight, as it seems that his whole tenure with Miami has been disappointing. And it's definitely looking like the Dolphins made a mistake drafting him in 2020. At the 5th pick overall, there was Justin Herbert on the board, and even Jalen Hurts, who sunk to the 2nd round, as each of them have proven to have better careers compared to Tua since entering the league 5 years ago. Tua has proven that he isn't durable, and he's one serious head injury away from calling it a career. As even when Tua has been on the field, what has he done to show for it? He's had 1 playoff appearance so far in his career and hasn't really done much, despite the roster having a lot of turnover to benefit his development. And even bringing in Mike McDaniel 3 years ago was for him and his development, as he didn't get along with Brian Flores to start his career. We also saw Tyreek Hill show massive frustration on the sideline, and it's been evident that Tyreek is no longer happy in Miami. Mind you, it's been a full calendar year since his last reception of over 30 yards, and that's wild to me because he's one of the best deep threats in the NFL. I wouldn't be surprised that the situation continues to boil and the vibes continuously get more toxic with the Miami Dolphins, to the point where there are many moves to be made at the trade deadline, and that could start with Tyreek being traded back to Kansas City, as it seems that the Chiefs are razor thin at wide receiver due to injuries and suspensions. I like Mike McDaniel, I really do, but to be honest, his quirks and jokes have gotten stale at this point. Unless he can turn around this season and prove that he can find a way to get the Dolphins on a more physical brand of football, and also find a way to reinvent this offense, I don't think he can save his job, because right now the Dolphins look soft and have no identity. Additionally, if Tua's struggles continue throughout this season, whether it's health or performance, the Dolphins might be forced to make a tough decision this offseason, as they appear amidst of a massive implosion.